for a new Star Trek show. Although I would like to see, Rob, do you remember, what was the movie poster that was a trend in the 80s where it would be the backside of a woman, legs, very long
Yeah,
legs,
it started with For Your Eyes Only.
for your eyes only.
For Your Eyes Only was the Bond film that came out in 1981.
I want to do an art show where I take that image, the for your eyes only, with the legs, and make the poster for The Empire Strikes Back with that, or just on Golden Pond, and just every poster for mainstream movies just have those for your eyes only legs. Anyway, sorry, that's a weird distraction there. What do we think this poster? What do we think about it? We've all seen it. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, number one, not my problem, Chubb, I'm not gonna lie. But it's doable, but secondly, I mean, look, this is the only way they're gonna sell any kind of new Star Trek anything now. Star Trek is dead in the water, no one cares anymore. They gotta do whatever they can to sell this show or this movie. No one's gonna watch it, so why not have, Michelle, with her legs spread and it's not gonna help it, but it's not gonna hurt it either.
Like who's attracted? Who's coming to watch it based on this? This would not appeal to me. I don't know anybody who this would appeal to. If you're a Trekkie, why would you? What is it about this poster that would draw you to watch this? Is it Michelle Yeoh? You could have had Michelle Yeoh in any other poster, any other look, and this doesn't sell Star Trek. I guess is what I'm saying. I don't see Star Trek anywhere on this entire poster except for the word Star Trek. Star Trek up there, and you just clean that line out, and it's just Academy Award winner Michelle Yeoh, Section 31, and this, I wouldn't know this is a Star Trek movie, so who are they trying to sell this to?
I'm trying to zoom in so you can see that is a man bent over beneath her heel.
Are you familiar with telling men from behind? You're sure?
I mean, it could be whatever. It says new movie streaming. Is it just a movie?
Yeah,
There's a movie.
It's a PG-13 movie. Also, by the way, curious timing. My latest issue of AARP magazine came in, and look who's on the cover. Michelle Yeoh.
Well, we discovered this yesterday on Georgia. There's only two Asian actresses. There's Michelle Yeoh, there's Big Mouth Man. There's only two.
No, Aquafina.
Oh,
Aquafina is the other. Look.
Jim Chan.
Yeah, I think Jim Chan.
Well, where are we now with this? What it takes to sell a new Star Trek show is to make it look like some fetish DVD from like Europe.
Well, yeah, because no one's gonna watch Star Trek. Yeah.
That's why Star Trek is so tiny. They don't want you to, they're trying to keep you to watch this movie.
I just think it smacks of desperation because how they have decided to promote Star Trek is not really resulting in any momentum.
Well, it's like, look, all of these IPs, they're trying to transform them into other things.
Molly, what are you doing?
Star Trek has always been a niche thing that they've constantly, it's like that. They've been trying to make Star Trek
Where's the squirrel?
since 2009 with J.J. Abrams.
Where's the squirrel?
And that didn't work either. Everyone's like, wow, those movies made so much money. They actually didn't make so much money. Remember, the studio only takes in half of what a film grosses at the box office. And when you spend $170
Look there, your friend. Come on, look outside, your friend. Look outside, your friend.
and then you have to market it,
Where's your friend?
and you make $400 million,
Where's your friend?
profit the studio made. And then Into Darkness was a lot more expensive. And the Star Trek franchise on TV has never made much money either.
And Robert, worse, they didn't make new fans. That's the thing. If you had gotten a bunch of new fans, and you could have sacrificed maybe, but you didn't get a whole bunch of new passionate fans.
No, because they're trying
Is that Santa Claus?
to do something else. Rather
Santa Claus can't give you a present.
than make Star Trek successful in the first place, which was
Where is he?
appealing to an audience.
Where's Santa?
Inquisitive about the future, about technology, about friendship, relationships, about new experiences, boldly going in your life. They've tried to turn it into something that isn't that, and they haven't been able to retain their old audience or a new audience.
pissed off the middle of the ground. I still play Star Trek Online. Some of the people that are still there are so insanely insular. They've pushed off all of the like the normal people.
And they've had to incorporate Star Trek Online in all this new stuff.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fit with, there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
That's the European version.
Now, see, what I wanna see, someone out there, maybe we can do this with AI. I wanna see other movie posters in this style. Empire Strikes Back.
Molly, where have you gone?
Let's do the best recommendations.
Where's the Wicked poster for this?
Ordinary people. Wicked, right, like.
Molly, your friend.
Green legs. Is that what
Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon.
Molly, your friend.
Obvious Flash Gordon. But what posters could you do in this style with the long legs, heels, G-string-ish adjacent, but the most ridiculous movie?
Molly, look outside.
I said on Golden Pond, I don't know, what else, like, that's, no one remembers that.
What's interesting, Chris, about this film is in For Your Eyes Only, that character, her name's Melina Havelock, and her parents are murdered in the beginning of the film, and she's going after revenge. And Bond comes across,
Molly.
and she uses a crossbow to kill. And as it turns that and other things too. There's a great moment, I mean, to put Bond in a poster like that and make it important to the Bond
What's outside? What's outside?
was a really interesting difference, I think, in terms of Bond advertising. To put the feminine as so dominant in the advertising is very different
Yeah, cat.
to Bond at the time.
Meow.
Jesus, man. You might as well say Ruth, man. Like, what the?
The chat is on fire. Objection.
We still like poster.
But you could do just a whole section on Star Wars posters.
Right.
Acolyte.
All the Star Wars movies and TV shows with this style. I wanna see it as like an art show. It'd be a poster book.
What's outside?
I would actually go white. I would actually go white.
It would have to Algerno's legs.
You're on fire. My left foot.
What's outside?
Golden Girls. Yeah, I love it. So, all right, I just think, I mean,
Where you going?
how many times can we do a Star Trek?
Where you going?
segment? I mean, they're just gonna keep.
They do it for us.
You're supposed to have a trial, aren't
The
you?
studio makes them for us.
Yeah, I think, you know what? We have to bring the trial back. Alan, are you in for the trial?
Yeah.
The trial of the millennium. The trial of the 23rd century. It's a matter of when we can do it. We gotta do it over a month. I know you guys come back, do a trial, I do have my judge's gavel and robe are available. Alan has a suit.
She's disappeared.
Right, Alan?
Yeah, and I have my
There she comes.
Right now.
There she comes.
Discovery. Right now.
There she is.
Star Trek Discovery, there's Strange New World.
Discovery's over. Strange New Worlds is coming back for season 3 and 4.
Okay.
Lower Decks is finished. Starfleet Academy is in production.
That's Harry Potter.
And
Star Trek.
they're trying, they've got a Star Trek origin movie that's supposed to be the origin of the Federation, or the Star Trek Federation, is supposed to go into production, with the director of the USS Callister. who directed that.
On the chair.
I heard of it.
This way.
And the movie itself is this way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the universe gets bitten by a radioactive gene. That's how Star Trek was born. That is my dad joke of the day. Okay, pivoting topics here. We've got this story, which we will read. If you would bring it up. Justine Bateman on Zachary Levi, or should I bring that up?
Yeah, bring it up.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, this is the one I sent you. It reframes everything of him being attacked, and it basically is just if you scroll down to the bottom, it's a capture of her tweet about him.
Oh, okay, let me share that for everyone here.
He got attacked by his co-stars after Levi did, someone he was on Broadway with, basically saying like, I never liked him, and just
Oh, it was coming, yeah.
yeah, of course,
It was
of course.
nothing.
So they just bring that.
Justine Bateman defends Zachary Levi after Laura Benanti attempted to cancel him. All right, let's look at this.
Yeah, do you want, this is, they're gonna, this woman is just reading everything that, she says about him, but, if you want Justine's, it's, if you go down to the bottom, it has a screen capture of, her response to all of this.
Let's
Right
look
there.
at this.
That's
If you would
Justine.
read it.
Yeah, Justine basically says, I've heard of that Zachary Levi. However, I've never heard of Laura Benatti. The era of attacking past stars to impress judges at the Victim Olympics is over. It does not result in more work. In fact, it simply telegraphs one's capacity to torpedo projects, past, present, and future. And I don't know one film, series, or play producer who wants to have anywhere near their project.
Wow, good for her.
Bingo, Justine Bateman comes in with a common sense take about, because I saw the clip with Laura Benanti. She says in Variety, I never liked him. Everyone was like, he's so great. I was like, no, he's not. He's sucking up all the effing energy in the room. He wants to mansplain everybody's part to them. They did a play together. It sounds like, she went out to say, because I saw the actual clip, she talks about how he was like, let's have a dance party. He was like very enthusiastic. And if you don't want to participate, just hug out.
Is he calling it phase two? Because I don't know.
Where are you going, Molly? Back and forward, back and forward, back and forward.
Someone, died.
Where are you going?
And he was suggesting it was maybe because he was forced to get.
You're literally going back and forward, back and forward, back and forward.
And it was very sudden, and she was like, oh, he's faking the tears and all that, but really it just seems like a virtue signaling. That's what Justine's pointing out. This was just a sloppy virtue signal. Like, look, I'm on the right team. I don't about him or whatever. I disavow.
On the chair.
It's obvious. Like, she says it's
On the chair.
her ability to do this.
He also overestimates the popularity of straight out of jail Harvard. I mean, she's very well known in the Broadway community. And, but, you know, for us movie people, we know her as the mom from No Hard Feelings.
I didn't know who this woman was.
I had no idea who she
and-
was.
Yeah, I was curious as to why Variety even put out an article or story talking about this whole situation in the first place. It seems like now they're coming after Zach. So does somebody have something negative that they want to say about Zach Levi because of his political stances, X, Y, and Z? All right, let's hear from him, you know, because like this is such a nothing burger of a story anyway. And now it just seems like it's here to fuel the flames of hate towards this one particular act. That's how it comes off to me. I don't understand why there's probably a million stories like this in Hollywood that, you know, happen all the time if you really want to talk about it. So, like, why this particular actor? You know,
Well,
why
because
exactly?
he's so well known. That's why. He's a huge actor. He's a huge name, and he came out for the wrong team. That's why it's not this particular actor.
Yeah, so, yeah, you know, like Justine says, it's like, you know, it's supposed to be, hey, you know, whatever went on the set behind closed doors, that's where it stays. We're not going to let all our dirty laundry out there. And it seems like this chick, Laura, is one of those people that, you know, they'll go out and run their mouths, you know, and, you know, possibly, you know, ruin your project, you know, before you even get it started because she's such a gossip hound. I want to tell you everything that Zach Levi was saying behind closed doors. And that's like, come on, man, nobody wants to hear all that.
Well, and Zach,
He like she has no idea who her co-star really is.
She's basically saying that he's an overly optimistic person.
Yeah, and it sounds like she doesn't know, even though she, you know, performed with him and worked with him, she has no idea who he is, because if she did, then she would have seen this coming. Like, even I saw this coming, him backing Trump, because he came out for RFK, and even before then, if you look at his Instagram and follow all of his posts, he's a very based actor.
She thinks he's a Christian grifter, and she goes on a rant saying that, like, oh, he'll be able to go into the Christian film industry that's super. I'm assuming like him and Steve Kane are going to be superstars or something. It's a dumb. It really sounded like she was upset that he's making money that she's not making. Really, all he did was like not lie anymore and say his beliefs.
Well, also,
making a Christian movie.
but the thing about Zachary Levi, and I find this interesting that he made 2 franchise pictures in terms of Shazam. The first one did okay, and the second one didn't do very well. Now that's, if you're an actor and you have that opportunity at a major studio to create a character in a comic book franchise, and it doesn't work. The same thing happened to Armie Hammer when he made Lone Ranger. They were trying to make him happen before his trouble, and that movie was a spectacular failure. That's difficult for an actor to deal with. You know, and here he is, they worked with Laura and him worked on, I think it was Broadway, they were on the stage, weren't they?
Yeah.
So they're on stage, that's a whole different vibe. And here's a guy, I mean, Zachary Levi comes from Chuck, right? And he has a great television career, made a lot of money, he's probably a big charismatic guy. And this, what you said, leads to creative differences. That's what you said, creative differences. That's the catchphrase the industry uses. For her to come out, the question is, why would you go out and attack a fellow performer? I mean, she doesn't say he's abusive. She doesn't say he sucks the air out of the fucking room. Okay. I find that such a strange criticism.
So right before that, she said everyone likes him, which is funny. Right? She's not saying that he's likable. She's just the best.
Chuck is the lead. You set the tone. So he
Yeah, and it's such a weird thing to come out and say this publicly. Like, why would you? And in terms of faith-based movies, Angel Studio is not a bad studio to be in business with. They're making the best faith-based movies that have been made. You know, whether that's your thing or not. Was it Bonhoeffer? That's the movie that they had Bonhoeffer come out about a Christian pastor who's also a spy. And they made some interesting stuff. They were the company behind the Charles Jefferson film. They sold it to Fox, and Fox sold it to Sound of Freedom. That was the Angel Studios project. I mean, it's such a strange thing that people whether you like the Daily Wire or not, somebody brought up that paper. The Daily Wire is starting to, they decided to distribute movies. It's a business of cinema. You know, why would you slam on somebody wants to make faith-based movies? That's a genre.
Ouchie.
The same way that horror is a genre. The same way that erotic thrillers are a genre. If you want to work for a faith-based studio, go right ahead. If they're stepping up their game and they're making better movies, and they're serving an audience, I mean, what is wrong with that? Why wouldn't you want to get in business with people that are making products?
Well, exactly. He said that they were and he was right. And then we all knew that they were going to do that. I mean, you have Whoopi Goldberg when we're talking about Hollywood doesn't do that. We don't go after people because of get out.
Well, they were already attacking him because he ignored RFK Jr. first.
Right. So,
He
but
was already being attacked.
right. He already put
Down.
Right.
Down.
So we're going to see this at least in the next couple of years, right? I think it is going to die out. Especially now with the COVID being different. But no, Jesse was totally right. What this woman was doing is basically trying to placate to the higher being in Hollywood that he's still on the team.
That team has been
Her
swept off.
complaints are, he's too great, he's too nice, everyone likes him. He's too happy. I mean,
He fooled them all positive.
you know, I wonder if she's saying that because he's too likable, he's too happy. People like him, and that's a bad thing. Because
But he's also paid his dues.
And he might have that influence over the people who are liking him. So that's a
Yeah,
bad
no, you're right.
thing.
Yeah.
I agree with you totally.
You pointed out, Robert, he came in as a show lead on Chuck. He set the tone every day for the shooting. If the lead is a piece of shit and hates his job, it's probably not fun to show up for work for 14 or 15 hours. But if you're positive and get going and keeping the energy high for a live performance, probably pretty grateful for Zach to be around, and that's why she was a no fun boo boo bee boo, and that's, she's upset and virtue signaling about it.
But
Rob,
the thing is, as pretentious as Hollywood is, guys, Broadway is 1,000 times more pretentious. And so, you know, people are probably praising her for what she said about Zachary Levi, unfortunately. At least in the Broadway.
That's what I was wondering. Where is she getting the plotting from? Okay, so it's coming from Broadway. 'Cause I sure as hell don't think it's coming from Hollywood. You know, I don't
He's
understand.
very
why.
well known. He's very popular in Broadway.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I get it now. Now I get it.
But was the work they did together good? Like, she might have not liked him, but is the play that they worked on together, or the show they
It
worked on
was-
together, was
you
it
know,
good?
it
Was
was
it
one of
well
those-
reviewed?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
just one of those overly optimistic musicals. Boy meets girl, you know, that's kind of.
I mean, show business is
I'll check
full
on
of
all
people. You know, when Richard Gere and Deborah Winger worked together on Officer and a Gentleman, and that movie was a huge hit, and everyone loved the erotic spark between the two of them. They hated each other when they made it.
Yeah.
And it still worked. What matters is the work.
Rob, I've been accused of being overly optimistic. I think maybe you've had the same accusation. But Zachary, I always thought he was well liked. You ever go to Comic-Con?
Oh.
With his own money.
Yeah.
Would get together sponsors, put together an event that was open to the public.
Yeah.
It was nerdy for people who could not get into Comic-Con. He did this
Sit.
big event.
Sit.
It was a party. You could get on the list. It was not.
Dude, it was a good time, man.
It was not.
I used to love those parties.
Do you remember that, Rob? Like, it's just like, it's weird that he would get that. It was very much, I don't know. I always thought he was
Down.
a guy. I mean,
Yeah,
no,
but
like,
down.
I think he does, but whatever. I think that moves
You
on.
said it right. You said it right there. He was popular until.
Yeah.
Up.
Now don't get Clifton on the show. At some point. Love to do that.
With all that said, though, I really do hope that his career isn't in trouble. I hope he gets lots of work. I hope that, you know, I hope Hollywood makes their change and just, you know,
Why are you
accepts
looking at me?
who they are and takes this guy who
Oh.
is talented,
Oh.
who is well known, doesn't
Oh.
have a name, and is a generally good guy. I hope he gets work, man. I hope he doesn't get punished. I kind of feel like he will,
Like
but
he's trying to. It seems like he's trying to get away from Hollywood and try to do his own thing. It seems like it from the
Down.
stuff that I've read off of his you know, his posts that he puts up. It's like it's time for us to.
We save some for Olive, yeah? This is Olive's. Olive, yum, yum.
It's like right.
He's
Yeah.
just that, what is it called?
Give some to Olive.
I don't know what it's called. But yeah,
Give some to Olive.
Yeah. So it's like that's honestly
he's
that's
looking for investors, so basically.
yeah. Just get away from Hollywood.
Probably come on here, Chris.
Sit.
Took pictures.
No, we'll get him. Sit.
and all that.
Lord has. All right, pivoting to another story,
Down.
a different kind of story here. Olivia Wilde chooses art over audio. From the
Down.
Hollywood Reporter, in a story by Eaton Lessing, Olivia Wilde talks choosing art over audience approval. I don't make movies so people love them. Strange.
great model, great business model.
The Hollywood actor turned Helmer told the Red Sea Film Festival directors have to choose between being a celebrity or an artist. Okay. Badger, if you would, we'll get into this story. I'll get that there.
A Hollywood star, Olivia Wilde, warned social media